Hey there. Welcome to Behind the Black Veil. I want to make an announcement. There will be some channel changes. I thought I'd discuss them with you. All right. We are still a elite few behind the Black Veil. Consider yourself special forces. All right. And here are the channel changes. We are going to approach things with a more action oriented scientific approach. Okay, this is going to be for full spiritual engagement. All right, I'm going to go on and explain this a little more. All right, I'll try to keep it brief. I will try. All right, so what does this mean? Okay, well, what this means is we are going to be using the scientific method in our approach to our spirituality. We're going to get a little more proactive. Okay. We're going to use our power here. You know, the power that we give when we're paying attention to these videos, the power that we give when we're contemplating the thoughts, the wisdom, and the situations and circumstances that come up in these readings. Instead of just viewing them, we're going to start working on the problem, okay, to resolve the problem. And we're going to do it through the principle of quantum entanglement. Our approach, the scientific method. All right. So just briefly going into the scientific method, of course, that is us observing and identifying situations. Okay. We're collecting data. Of course, that's where the ancestors come in. And of course, your intuition. Of course, we're coming up with a hypothesis. All right. We want to kind of have an aim and an idea where we're going with this thing ahead of time. And then we're going to do some experimenting. Okay. So come on back and put your results in the comment section. All right. Like the video, share, and subscribe. I'll go deeper into the benefit of that to our digital ritual. You like that, right? Digital ritual. And just, and just pour so that the energy starts to pour out of the computer. Okay? Because the enemies of humanity are utilizing the computer to control humanity, right? So that's okay. All is not lost. No problem. Because that's actually the playground of the creator. Listen, nothing is outside of the creator's reach, right? And so that's the spirit world, right? Because you know how you hear about spirits being in places and the lights are blinking on and off, that sort of thing. The television's fucking up, right? Because they're made of light, they're made of energy. Right? Either low grade energy, low frequencies, or high frequencies, right? But it's all electricity, essentially, right? So, so what we're going to do is we're going to, plug in, all right, and take over the machine. All right, fantastic. So, yeah, we want to see more how to master the intuitive powers that we have, instead of leaving it in a vague space, start to kind of go along with the universe, because the universe, of course, is becoming more dense and the physical realm is becoming more apparent to the standard layman, right? You don't have to have any special powers or have been studying spirituality and shit starts to, get a little crazy. So, so we're going to try to track this thing, and see what we can get manifested around here. The quantum entanglement is going to make sure that we're all connected to one another. Okay. And that power is able to be stacked, instead of just, one powerful person here and one powerful person there. We're going to have 2 times the power. It's going to be exponential. Okay. So 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16, like that. Okay, so that's how we're going to try to use the power here behind the black veil. All right, and we're using our power and influence to call forth realities of beauty for all beings, beginning with ourselves. All right, so that is the main idea of the changes. Why? Okay, because of the whole spiritual spectator thing. Okay, what happens is I've noticed, right, from myself, my own experience, as well as, the experience of other people that I can see, and just knowing energy as I do, it's a slippery slope, right? You can slip into, despair depending on, what information you're seeing. You could be kind of obsessing, you could be a tarot junkie, So instead of just sliding into that space, let's kind of, surf the frequency. Let's surf the frequency a little bit, let's get somewhere. Let's sail the seas of spirituality. All right. So we're doing spiritual engagement. So from spiritual spectatorship to active intelligence. Okay. Because also another thing for me, what inspired me is that I'm tired of hearing the same story. Now I noticed that there's a lot of us going through the same dynamics, right? With the third parties and the twin flames, and one don't know how to act, and one is disrespectful, and let's get all this sorted out. Okay? Because the spiritual world is becoming more and more of a mainstream, legit thing. And it's not going to be long after that before it's monetized. All right. So let's get the leaders of the spiritual realm into the front of the spiritual industry. Shall we? Okay. Won't you join me? All right. Behind the black veil. All right. So this is going to be for manifesting resolutions and manifesting a healthy way of life, starting with our relationship with ourselves. So no perfectionism, no obsessing over our performance, how well we're doing. Did we get it right the first time? Are we doing it right every single time? I mean, yeah, observe, collect data. Absolutely. Okay. But let's not fall into the hole, of complacency. Let's not fall into the hole. Of course, somebody is making noise and they're coming by right now. All right. Please stand by. Please stand by. All righty then. Sorry about that. That was the lawnmower man. Okay. So, anyhow, yeah. So we're not going to browbeat ourselves into submission. Okay. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said something fucked up about himself. Excuse my language. And I was hurt. He hurt my feelings. Okay. So, I was saying to him, would you say that to your best friend? Would you say, oh, you're a dumbass, you know nothing? And I totally would not be talking to him if he was a dumbass. I don't talk to dumbasses. I mean, just as soon as I find out that's who I'm talking to, then the talk is over. Okay, that's generally how I handle these things. Okay, so it's not even scientific is what I was trying to explain to him. The way you're treating yourself, you are beating yourself up. You're hating on yourself, plain and simple. Okay. And not only are you hurting yourself, you're hurting my feelings. Okay. Because you're talking about my friend. And I don't really allow that. You can't talk shit about my friends unless you talk the same shit in front of their face and I see how they feel about it and they rock with it, then I'll rock with it for as long as I can, whatever. You get it. Okay. I don't want to go down that road anyhow. So we have to start treating ourselves like friends. So the stories we tell ourselves, okay, this is critical. Start telling yourself stories in a way that motivates. Start telling yourself, about the mistakes that you made or whatever you learned. Experiment instead of beating yourself up for not being perfect the first time. Experiment. Approach it that way. Like, well, when I let that guy into my life, well, this thing happened. Was it good? Did it enhance you? Or did it take away from you? just jot down your notes, maybe make a commemorative picture about it, draw it in your journal, whatever you're into, and push along with the experiment. Push along, okay? And get these notes down somehow, make them some sort of artistic, beautiful thing in whatever way that you do. All right, fantastic. So how? Right, scientific, spiritual engagement behind the black veil. So that's where we're in terms of liking and sharing. We're liking the video not just because it makes my day, but also in the context of experimentation, it makes the video more popular and strengthens the energy of the experiments. See what I'm saying? So it can have multiple applications. Okay. And that's more people in the quantum entanglement enhancing and bigging it up. You see what I'm saying? So that everyone can have the light of clear mind. So it's important that you report your results as well so that the other participants are able to see and track the energy and how the energy is traveling. So commenting is critical to your participation. Right. Also, it strengthens the blessings that are attached to it, the wisdom that's attached, okay, which goes into the sharing. Again, spreading the energy, enhancing the strength of the manifestations that we're creating together on the earth. And it's kind of like creating a lattice, so to speak, like a digital signature in time and space, because from my camera equipment, my microphone, to yours, to your computer, to your home, wherever you're physically located, to whoever else is, to all the participants, boom, we've created a framework. We've created a network of energy. You see what I'm saying? That's the quantum entanglement shit. You see? So we don't even have to talk to each other to be able to communicate with one another. I know if you're behind the black veil, I know that you know this already. All right. So we're really going to start, pouring into our training. We're going to start really applying our training here. Now, the subscription is, a no-brainer. Subscribe, obviously, to keep up and follow up. All right. And, of course, you can come and go as you please. So nobody is forced to subscribe. Okay. Subscribe, get down. You feel like leaving, you're free to leave. It is what it is. You're welcome to stay. And you also welcome to go. All right. Fantastic. So don't feel pushed, in other words. Okay. Don't feel pushed. Just, come along with us and join us on this experiment. And let's see what kind of changes we can get made. You know what I'm saying? Let's not talk spirit. Let's walk spirit. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, talk it also, but also walk it. You feel me? Okay, great. So questions, Q&A with the ancestors. Q&A with the ancestors. Here we go here. I'm sorry I smacked. Okay, I got a different mic, and I hope my mic sounds nice. All right. If it don't, God bless you. All right. And God bless me. Amen. All right. So let's start taking the ancestors and the spirit world more seriously. Okay. So what am I touching on there? What I'm touching on there is the difference between an intellectual understanding of a thing and a deep-rooted, or I should say spiritual awareness. The awareness, okay, let me start from the beginning. Intellectual awareness versus a deep-rooted spiritual understanding. Okay, thank you. So I want to get away from philosophical ideas. We can discuss them, but I just want to get away from living in the world of the mind with the swords. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just get from the sword down all the way down to the pinnacle. Okay? I just want to get all the suits lined up and streamlined here for us. So we have to give the ancestors a little space and energy to work. Right? That has to be mindfully done. Right? So most of us do that already. Okay. What I'm telling you, crank it up. Crank it up. All right? Really start being in the gym about this thing. Okay? experiment to learn the full scope of their messages. Okay? Because, you hear one video, you hear another, and, I don't know if you're anything like me, you forgot half the shit that you saw and heard, okay, except for the highlights, of course, whatever stands out to you, right? But there's often heavy energy and wisdom that the ancestors are trying to impart, and we can't fully feel it. We heard it, we might be able to even remember it, but we're not fully realizing that we're talking to dead people. We're not fully getting it sometimes. Okay? We're not fully getting it. All right? Because then we go back to our regular scheduled program. Whatever life is doing. Like, oh, okay, wow, spiritual shit. Okay, let me run to the store and get a Lucy. Boom, punching holes in your fucking aura. You know what I'm saying? Let me run to over here and do this. Now, again, we're not doing perfectionism, right? So you might mention that to your friend, like, come on now, you ain't supposed to be doing that. But at the same time, you're not going to fucking beat your friend in the head if you're a good friend. You know what I'm saying? You're going to just be there chilling with your friend while they smoking their cigarettes. It is nothing, it's nothing to your heart to be there for your friend. So you have to, in the experiment with this approach, you would have to be your own friend similarly. Like, now you're not supposed to be smoking those cigarettes or whatever, just an example. And then maybe you still go and you buy a cigarette. Well, instead of beating yourself up, apply an affirmation. I'm so glad that I'm almost done with the cycle of smoking. Okay, I'm so glad that I'm wrapping this up right now in my life. I am so glad that I'm making the transition to a healthier life with healthier habits. I'm so glad that the Creator has my back and is going to give me all the energy that I need to accomplish this change. I'm so glad I'm rich and that the ancestors have my back in anything that I undertake. I'm so glad. Thank God for that. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. And keep doing it. Okay? If somebody say, oh, you always say that, always say it then. You always say you're going to stop this. You always say you're going to do it. Keep saying it until it fucking happens. You understand me? Energy is energy, people. Use it. Okay? I'm joining you. All right. So we need to understand and experiment to be able to learn the full scope of the ancestors' messages and to make sure we have a firm understanding of the language that they speak. So this is what I mean when I'm saying I want to get away from philosophy. I want to get away from belief. We don't have time for belief right now. We just don't have time. Belief is great. You got a day off? Have some belief. Okay? Believe all day. All right? We need facts right now, people. Okay? We need truths. All right? We need solutions around here. All right? So now, if you have solutions and you have truths, all right, and you have connection to the spirit world, it's time for us to become Jedis. And for those of us who are already Jedis, it's time for you to go ahead and throw your Obi-Wan Kenobi robe on and start wearing that shit. Okay? It's not a game. I mean, maybe not literally, but you know what I'm saying. Energetically, your robe of light, your robe of consciousness. Throw that shit on and wear it. Be mindful. Be ever mindful. No matter where you go. If you go into the 7-Eleven, let it be a spiritual experience. Okay? How do you make it into one? That's where the creativity comes in. Okay? Say some affirmations on your way while you're driving. Play your favorite song that uplifts your spirit and reminds you of your connection to God. But it keeps you aware and conscious, present in the moment, effortlessly. Look for effortless ways to stay conscious. Okay? You're not trying to really break your back here. All right? There's simple things we can do. Affirmations, prayers. Oh, every time I get in the car and every time I get out the car, I say a prayer. You know? Like attach it, anchor it to something. Okay? That's how you do it. All right. Or that's one way to do it. All right? Because you need your mind to get along and bring the mind along with the spirit. All right. So we need to understand their language so we can be more at the ready when we're receiving the information, applying it in effective ways to actually make physical changes. Okay. The quantum entanglement. Okay, this is physics. So each experiment is an offering to the spirits. Each time there's a video, each time we're putting energy into these experiments that we're doing, that's an offering to the ancestors. That's juice for them. That's meat. That's whatever they need. That's fruit. That's bread. That's whatever that they need. Okay, that's the attention they need. Whatever they need to be able to work through us and come into this physical world. Because that's really our job, right? Behind the black veil, special forces, you know what it is. Okay, so if you're scared of this, then you're not ready for this. Do not force yourself, because you can kill yourself fucking around with the spirit world. You understand? So this is for advanced students who are ready for this work. Okay, and if you undertake it scientifically, that is really the safest thing that you could do for yourself. Okay, so we talked about the channel changes, Q&A with the ancestors. We talked about, okay, how we're going to get the energy to kind of, ramp up with the like and share and subscribing and reporting in the comment section. Okay, we discussed action-based scientific approach, spiritual entanglement. Fantastic. We got it all done. Listen, thanks for coming by. All right, and I'm looking forward to these wonderful changes. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. All right, fantastic. Talk to you people soon.